Hi there guys, welcome back to another episode on the Retrobrown solo challenges for Kanto. As you can see, we are actually doing a full month of solo runs for December, and we're starting off with Eevee, of all Pokemon. Not even an evolution, just Eevee. And as I know, this was requested by Jobbles, who was one of our subscribers, our recent, very prominent subscribers on the channel. And he was really excited to see an Eevee run, so thankfully it came up on the wheel. Here you go, mate, this one's for you. And we'll start off this month with Eevee. So let's have a quick chat about it. It's actually a very mid-range Pokemon. Most of its stats are around by that 55 to 50 range, total of 325. But the interesting thing about it, which is going to be a very interesting part of the run, we actually... we do not get any good moves, really. As you can see on the right hand side there, it's just like the Cypher run. We actually don't get any attacking moves apart from the likes of normal moves. We do get Toxic, but when we're thinking about Lavender Tower, that is definitely not going to be prevalent at that point. We won't be able to get it till after Koga, which is past Lavender Tower. What we do start off with, though, is Sand Attack and Tackle. But then we don't get any more moves till level 27, which is really, really annoying. We get Quick Attack at level 27, but even then, we don't get very, very many good moves. We do beat the rival on the first time, and we can move on to trying to beat the rival to the west of Viridian. We're at level 8 at this point. We've gone through some of the trainers in Viridian Forest, and considering we actually do start off with Sand Attack and evasion moves are so broken in Gen 1, I thought I actually might have a bit of a chance, but I also forgot the Pidgey here does have Sand Attack itself. So unless I can get my Sand Attacks off, this Bulbasaur is going to completely decimate me. And it's annoying because this Bulbasaur does have Leech Seed, so if we get Leech Seed, it's just a race against the clock. He doesn't use it at this point, and then we do get seeded. So we have to try that again. There was no way we could have won that one, even if we had got a crit, so... let's try this again. We do have Sand Attack, so we're going to just try and spam that to start off with. The Pidgey does go for a Gust. We are down to 16 HP. But once we've got enough Sand Attacks up, we can just take the Pidgey out at our own leisure. And it's at this point, we know how this battle's going to go. We've got a decent amount of HP. The Bulbasaur's up next. I want to know what we're really going to have to prepare for the rest of the run. So considering we don't get another move to level 27... this means the Brock's definitely going to be quite difficult. We do get a good range of moves with the likes of Body Slam, Takedown, Double Edge, Mimic. I'm not going to use Double Team, it is not in the rule set. If you want to see what the rules are, check down the description, it's all there. We do get Bide, we do get Rest. There's a lot of good moves there we could actually take advantage of. We could even teach TM33, which is Reflect. And I think, considering we do get Bide, that's the reason that we managed to get past Lavender Tower with the Cypher. I think it's the same way. It's going to be the same way we're going to get past Lavender Tower with an Eevee as well. It's all we've really got to use. So going into Brock's gym, of course, I always like to go against the Light Years trainer. We're going to use the Sand Attack. We're going to tackle. Level 14 was the first time this was actually possible for the Eevee. Because of our mediocre stats, the Sandshrews got very good defense. We need to make sure we got that Sand Attack up. And I genuinely think if we did not have Sand Attack, I don't think that this run... I don't think we'd be able to beat this trainer at this level. We probably wouldn't even beat Brock at the level we do. Because we've got to think about, in the early game, there's not many PP points on your moves to think about. Whereas the opponents, they've got unlimited PP because it's Gen 1. Yeah, fair, I know. But it's a coding thing from Gen 1. And now we've beaten the Light Years trainer. Let's see how we do against Brock at level 14. We're going to spam Sand Attack, completely spam it, and that way we're going to make sure that the Geodude won't hit us. It has taken off just about half our HP, but now we've got to make sure we actually land our tackles, and what we're hoping for are crits. If we had like a Tail Whip, this would make the battle so much easier, but because of the amount of times it takes tackle to even hit, we're really getting low on PP here. We've got about 10 left to take on the Onix, and after that we're going to have to rely on Struggle, which, considering the Onix hits us there on the very first hit, we've got 6 HP, and about 8 tackles to use. It goes for bide down. Bide ignores any accuracy drops. The sand attack we're pretty much just putting up in case he tries to tackle us. So yeah, we have to go up to level 18, which is the very first time we managed to do this with an Eevee. And we're about 9 levels off getting our next move. So considering how long it takes to level up in Viridian Forest, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be even level 20 to beat Brock. What I want to make sure is that we can do it under level 20, because considering the moveset we've got, it's the best I think we can hope for, especially with our stats, our moves. I think it's definitely possible at level 18. So once Bide's been set up, we sand attack, he goes for Bide again, and I'm speeding this battle up completely because it is such a back and forth battle, it takes ages. I'm not going to make you sit through the entire thing at original speed. So once we've finally run out of all of our sand attacks, we just have to go for it because there's nothing else we can do. Bide does ignore accuracy drops, but because of all of that leveling up, we have enough HP, we hit enough times to beat Brock, and we get the move Bide, which is a move we actually want for this run. And that moves us on to Cerulean, where we can go against Misty. Considering we've already got up quite a lot of levels so far, this shouldn't be too bad of a fight. We can start off using Sand Attack. The Staryu only seems to be going for Tackle right now. I don't know why it's only going for Tackle. We don't have a resistance against it. Ah, there's the Water Gun. Must have just been the lottery on which move it's going to use, because I think she does use moves at random. But because of our Sand Attack, she's not even going to... I say that too soon. She just hit a Water Gun. But we're at 43 HP going into the Starmie. And as long as we can get the Sand Attacks up, we've got a chance here. If we get hit by Bubble Beam, which just misses us there, and then we get hit by one, this might be this might be a trend in this video when I say it's not going to hit us and then it hits us. So now we've set up as many Sand Attacks as we can, we get hit by a Bubble Beam. This is a great start to the month of Retrobrown. Okay, so we're actually going to equip Bide a lot earlier than I thought I was going to, because I actually want to get hit by that Bubble Beam. If we can get hit by one Bubble Beam, the Bide damage should take out the Starmie in one. If you're struggling for moves at the start of the game and you're struggling to get past Misty, it's a viable strategy. As long as you can tank or like get past one or two of her hits, you've actually got a very good chance. We get hit by a critical hit Water Gun, then she misses her next two attacks. It doesn't take it out, but thankfully she misses again and Tackle takes her out. So level 24 with an Eevee, we do beat Misty. And that was tough. That was genuinely tough. What's really annoying is I think that Eevee should be able to learn anything but normal moves. Like, we've got Bubble Beam there. I don't understand why we can't really teach it. But again, it's probably just waiting for the Water Stone where it can get Vaporeon and it would actually become a move we can use. And I mean, that's the whole thing about Eevee. It's the DNA Pokemon, I think it is. Is it called the DNA Pokemon? I'll have to double check that as we're going through this video. It's... Let me just double check this. It's called the Evolution Pokemon. Okay, what was I thinking? So it's called the Evolution Pokemon because that's its whole trope, is being the Pokemon that has to evolve via stones, or in later generations via happiness at different times of day. That's the whole thing there. It has many evolutions. Its DNA, I think, is very unstable. That's the reason why it gets called that, and it's got such sporadic transformations. I've talked through the entire Nugget Bridge fight. Let's have a chat about the rivals. So in this fight here, he's got Pidgeotto, he's got Raticate, he's got Kadabra, and because he started off with Bulbasaur, he's got an Ivysaur at this point. We are level 30, we have picked up Body Slam in the SSN. Fantastic move, I will say this on every single Gen 1 video that I can use it on. And it just tears through his team. It's doing nearly one-shot damage on the Ivysaur, but we are level 30, we have gone through a few more extra fights than we normally do, and that means we can beat the rival first time here. Is that going to be the same case in the Lieutenant Surge fight? Possibly. I mean, he's not the greatest trainer, and most of his Pokemon are very defensively weak. So, one Body Slam's enough to take out the Voltorb, which means it should be more than enough to take out the Pikachu. We do get a crit there. But is it going to be enough to take out this Raichu? We do get Tail Whip at level 31, which is a weird level to get Tail Whip at. Will Body Slam be enough? It's not. But we take it out in 2. We don't even lose any HP there. Surge, I'm demoting you, mate. You are demoted. And that leads us on to Rock Tunnel. So the biggest challenge in Rock Tunnel, of course, is the Exploding Hiker. But there's an interesting strategy I like to use when I have the move available. If you use Sand Attack on each of these Geodudes and then they use Self-Destruct, Self-Destruct can miss, which is hilarious. Just as it happens there. And that leads us on to the second Geodude, who's just going to go straight for it. We're at 17 HP. If they go for Self-Destruct straight away, we're screwed. He goes for a Tackle, Defense Curl. We've got 3 Sand Attacks set up. He hits us again. We set up full Sand Attacks now. Come on, please just use Self-Destruct. It's not using Self-Destruct. Why is it not using Self-Destruct? Are we going to just take it out with Body Slam here? Oh, wow, Hiker, you are. Funny. That is funny. So now we've actually got through Rock Tunnel. The game's starting to get to the midpoint here. We can go against the rival in Lavender Tower. We'll go do our errands against likes of Erica, Giovanni. We might open up Saffron at the same time. And then we'll actually show the reason why we need Bide even up until this point in the game. We're level 35 now. And we're tearing through his team. I mean, what do you expect? We're 10 levels above his ace. We're going to go through to Erica. We'll go see how we do against her. We do go into this battle poisoned. Now, there's actually a funny reason why I actually tried doing this when I was poisoned. I mean, one, I got poisoned in the previous fight, and I couldn't be bothered going back to the Pokemon Center. But if I'm actually poisoned, they can't paralyze me, and paralysis is such a debilitating move that they love to spam Stun Spore. But annoyingly, oh, can we? Yes, we just managed to hold on. So even being poisoned, Eevee can beat Erica at the level we were at. We could get Mega Drain, but at the same time, we cannot learn that move. Leafeon is not available until, I think, Gen 4 or 5. So, yeah, unfortunately, we can't learn Mega Drain at this point. Now, considering Giovanni's got 2 rock Pokemon in this fight, you would have thought it'd be quite difficult. The Onix, not so much, but definitely the Rhyhorn is a bit more annoying. It has Horn Attack, so it does decent damage, but because we paralysed it, we actually get a chance to get through. Brings us on to the Kangaskhan, and it's going to be a 3-hit Body Slam. Body Slam is going to be our main move to use in this entire run. We might get Double Edge, and we might use that, but I hate using the recoil on it. But we're going to have to pick that up in not Lavender Tower, in the Rocket Game corner as we're going. So here we go. This is the reason why we keep Bide until this point with an Eevee run. We need that Ghastly to use Self-Destruct, Nightshade on us, once we've used Bide, and that way we actually give ourselves a chance to get through these Ghost Pokemon. Bide does typeless damage, so because of that, it actually makes it possible to hit Ghost Pokemon. That's the reason we can actually get past Lavender Tower. Whereas if you remember with the Magikarp run, we don't get a move like that. We don't even get a water move. We only get normal type moves. And that means it's impossible to get past Lavender Tower. Moving into Silphco, we've got the rival. Gyarados is always going to be a big problem on these runs because he has Dragon Range. And our HP stat is not the greatest, even at level 41. We haven't used any badge boost in here, so we aren't boosting our stats in any way. I am trying to do as many of these runs now without even utilising that. It might have been a good idea to have kept Quick Attack at this point, because we'd have outsped that Alakazam and got through to the Venusaur, which is very annoying. We have to be at least 8 levels above his starter Pokemon just to be able to get past it with 2 Body Slams. The Gyarados goes down, and we got better HP this time than we did last time. Growlithe goes down with 1 hit. We are level 45 now. I did get up a few more levels because it just was becoming impossible to do at level 42. We're now level 46 going into the Venusaur. He does a massive Razor Leaf, then Vine Whip takes us out. So even level 45, level 46, still not enough, but we are very close. So that means we've still got a chance to do it around about this level. So let's try this again. One of the moves that I am keeping for the entire run, to be fair, is going to be Sand Attack. It is going to be so crucial to getting through those later fights. As you can see here, we're going to go with Sand Attack as well. Bite still is hitting through it, which is annoying, but we get the paralysis on the Gyarados, take it out in the second. Growlithe is going to go down 1 Body Slam, which is easy. As long as we outspeed Alakazam, we win here. We don't, and we take a Side Beam. It's not great. So that just leaves us with the Venusaur here. We're just going to go straight for Body Slam. We get the paralysis again, and then we get seeded. What we don't want... Razor Leaf nearly hit us. So that is the reason we managed to get through. But we are against the clock because we got Leech seeded. So that was a very close fight, but that leads us on to Giovanni now. So he does still have some rock Pokemon here. He does have his Rhyhorn. Yeah, the Rhyhorn, sorry. But the Nidorino, the Kangaskhan, and the Nidoqueen, not going to be too much of a problem, really. We get a critical hit on that Kangaskhan with Body Slam, and then comes the Rhyhorn. So I was actually going to go... I was thinking, should I try and go for a different move here, reduce his accuracy? No, you know what? Best strategy, just go for Body Slam, use Bite when you can to just finish off. And then when the Nidoqueen comes out, just go for it. He has used Guard Spec, so that means that he can't be paralysed now. But because he wastes a turn, we get enough hits in. We can beat Giovanni first time. After that, we can take a quick ride down the bike path to Fuchsia City and take on the Poison-type gym leader Koga. So I actually went into this fight paralysed because of the previous fight. It means we won't get poisoned, but yeah, we also don't outspeed anything now. So it's the reason why we keep Sand Attack. It means that they're not going to do any... They're not going to get many hits on us. We have kept Bide for a little bit longer because I felt like there was going to be a few circumstances where it might be worth keeping Bide for. But there are moves later on which are going to be more prevalent to use. We might have to switch to using Double Edge at some point, but we will in no way ever be choosing Double Team again. I think even if the Pokemon learns Double Team via level up, I don't think I'll be using it on these runs anymore. So the reason why we're keeping Sand Attack as well is the same reason for that exploding hiker in Rock Tunnel. We want to use Sand Attack, we want to make sure that he self-destructs, and we take an easy win. So first time victory. We are getting quite a lot of them, to be fair. But now a big challenge is ahead of us. We've got Sabrina. So Sabrina is quite a... kind of like Agatha. In some cases, she's a bit of a lottery, but she's a very hard hitter. Her Alakazam is actually a very good Pokemon, and she's got 3 other Pokemon before that, which make it even more difficult. So Sabrina sends out a Kadabra. As long as we can outspeed, we take it out with 1 bite. Their defenses are very low. And that brings us on to the Mr. Mime. It's going to take 2 bites to take it out. And next up is the Venomoth. So we are going to go for Body Slam here. It's going to take 2 Body Slams to take it out. Leech Life's not doing very much damage, and we've got through to the Alakazam without any status effects. We are level 51. I am very aware that we are quite high level. I am going against quite a lot of optional trainers here to be able to make these battles easier. And because we're getting up these levels now, it's actually going to help us in that later game we're starting to get into now as we're going into Blaine. So Blaine, we go in, not even healing ourselves. We've got about 3/4 of our HP. And both his first 2 go down to 1 Body Slam. Rapidash is a bit bulkier, so it's going to take a couple Body Slams and a bite to take it out. Last up is the Arcanine, and we do not want to be Fire Blasted here. That will really hurt, but he goes for an Ember, and we get a first time victory against the Fire type specialist. We pick up Fire Blast, which is completely useless to us, and we move on to Giovanni. Now this fight in other runs will probably be one of the easier ones. In this circumstance, this is going to be a very hard fight, because he starts off with his Rhyhorn, and Rhyhorn does not have great moves. So what we need to do is what we did in our Raichu video back in a few months ago now. We need to mimic Dig, and this is why I got Mimic back in Saffron City. We can use that on the Dugtrio, and we can take him out. But that also gives us a super effective move for the rest of his team. He goes for Guard Spec. Dig's not doing too much damage, but we do have pretty low attack. Nidoking's out next. We know it took 2 on the previous Pokemon, which means it's going to take 2 on this one. Worst case scenario here, Rhydon uses Stomp. If he uses Tail Whip on us, that actually adds to the Badge Boost glitch. So what I'm just going to do gives ourselves a little bit of insurance. We'll Sand Attack it, just in case it decides it wants to go for Stomp. Dig does a bit more damage this time round, and finally we take him down. So Giovanni, again, was a first time victory. And that brings us on to the Elite Four. But before that, of course, we've got Jubbles to fight one more time. Let's see how much of a challenge it gives the Eevee now. So at level 56 now, we're going into this fight. And we take out the Pidgeot, 2 hits, no problem whatsoever really. Body Slam was the best scenario against the previous Rhyhorn. It's going to be the best scenario here. It doesn't do too much damage to us. But next up is the Gyarados. So again, it's not the Pokemon that I want to mimic in this fight. So we're just going to try and take it down without taking any damage. Growlithe, very weak. It does do a lot of damage for takedown, but takes itself out. As long as we outspeed the Alakazam, we don't, but we get a Body Slam crit because he uses Recover. And that's going to be a free hit KO on the Venusaur unless we get a crit. So, hey, another first time victory. This is going pretty well. Considering this is quite a bad Pokemon, we're actually doing really, really well with Eevee. That brings us on to Elite Four though. And immediately before I even went against Lorelei, I used all my rare candies. Completely just went, you know what, shove them into Eevee's face. Let's get in with this run. Because there's a specific reason which we explored on the Cypher video of why we need to be a high level in the Elite Four, especially using the Bide strategy. So, well, Bide, Mimic, it's the same strategy as what we used in the Cypher run. What we're going to have to do when it comes to Agatha with a Ghost Pokemon is Mimic Nightshade. But until we get to that point, we're just going to have to tear through Lorelei, we're going to have to tear through Bruno, and neither of them pose too much of a threat. We do half damage on the Lapras, Blizzard does big damage, but we manage to outspeed and take it out. So Lorelei is a first time victory. We are level 70 though, so it's kind of expected really. Bruno, of course, his biggest threats are actually going to be the Onixes because of their defenses. So we're going to go for Bite, we're going to go for Body Slam. Either way, we just want to make sure that he's not really hitting us, he's not chipping away at us. So that's why we're going to use Sand Attack. And the reason why I've kept Bite until this point in the game, I made the decision that I didn't want to actually teach Double Edge. Because I didn't want that recoil damage. Bite's only 40 power points less, so it actually gives us quite a few power points to actually chip through. Body Slam, of course, it paralyzes, which is great move to have on your move roster. And then against the Hitmonchan, I learned from last time, we're going to mimic Ice Punch for the second Onix, and use Body Slam for the rest of his Pokemon. So Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan aren't the bulkiest Pokemon, so a couple hits to take them down. The Machamp's going to be a problem though. Ice Punch takes out the Onix, so we don't want to be hit by submission. If we get hit by submission, this is pretty much over. We don't get hit by it, and then we beat Bruno first time as well. Bruno can't even beat an Eevee. Get him kicked out of the Elite Four, come on. So, as we were alluding to earlier with the Cypher video, we need to learn Nightshade to get through Agatha. We do get confused, and we hit ourselves in confusion, so we're losing HP quite fast. Reason why we need to be over level 70 is because that gives us enough to two-shot the Ghost-type Pokemon. We have Haze as well, is a great move to be used, especially if she's confused or put you to sleep, because it gets rid of any status effects. But also gets rid of any stat increases as well, which isn't great. We've got through to the Arbok, the final Gengar, and we get hit by Nightshade. So that's our first loss in the Elite Four. And it's not exactly that it's a bad thing. I kind of expected that with this sort of run. So we actually go for Sand Attack on this first Gengar, because we want to safely get Nightshade. We also don't want to be put to sleep, we don't want to be confused. Sand Attack's just going to give us a bit more insurance there. When it comes to Golbat, Body Slam is going to be a two-shot, but then she switches into Haunter, uses Dream Eater, and we manage to take down another Pokemon. And then when switching back into the Golbat, we outspeed, and we've taken down 3. We're in a much better position than last time. She switches again and uses Dream Eater. And we are in a fantastic position here with our Eevee. We've been poisoned, yes, but all of those switches that Agatha did just not help her whatsoever. And it moves us on to Lance. Lance is a very hard hitter. He likes to use Hyper Beam. We need Hydro Pump for that Aerodactyl because it's the only one that is resisted to all of our moves. And Gyarados gets 2 Hydro Pumps in. That's the strategy we need though. We need to get Hydro Pump for that Aerodactyl. Otherwise we will get completely walled. We're going to use Sand Attack on the Gyarados. Annoyingly, we get hit by a Hydro Pump again. We manage to mimic it in time, and he starts missing all of his moves. Body Slam, hits and gets paralysis, and then he uses Hyper Potion. It's going to be a free hit KO on the Gyarados, and the more annoying thing about that is we're losing PP quite quickly. Body Slam, it's not going to be a one-hit KO on the Dragonairs, and they like to start using Dragon Rage. If they use Hyper Beam, we're dead. We're pretty much dead right now. We get a critical on the second, and then the Aerodactyl comes out. We don't outspeed, but it goes for Supersonic. It goes for Supersonic twice, and we hit ourselves in confusion and take ourselves out. This is annoying. This is very annoying. So, this is the strategy we do have to use, but it does include a lot of luck. Once Sand Attack works our way, we can manage to get through the Gyarados without taking any damage whatsoever. Perfect scenario. Level 72 now going into this. Dragonair gets taken down by another crit, and then the next Dragonair hits us with Dragon Rage. But we've got a really good amount of HP to take out this Aerodactyl. He misses his Supersonic, and we take it out in one. That just leaves the final Dragonite. We get a critical hit. He uses Barrier, and he tanks another hit, and then uses another Hyper Potion. I hate it when they're on such low HP, and then they use a Hyper Potion. It's so annoying. And he's using Barrier, which means that our physical attacks are not doing much whatsoever. You've trolled me enough, I'm Sand Attacking you to death. He still hits a Slam throughout all of that, and we were pretty much neck and neck until I start using Body Slam again. And it just takes a couple more Body Slams, we take down the champion, and then we realise, oh, now we've got another champion to beat. So Jubbles, it's time for you to see if you can beat this Eevee. Final battle, let's go. So, first up is Pidgeot. I could mimic an attack here, but to be fair, I'd rather just get through this first Pokemon and get to a better Pokemon where I can... I probably should have mimicked Recover there. Yeah, I'm going to reset that. Okay, let's try this again. If we can't mimic Recover, then we need to mimic Psychic. And this is going to be quite... Oh, it's going to be on the cusp of lucky here. We do manage to take out this Alakazam quite comfortably. We use Bite, we use... Oh, he uses Reflect. That's even worse for the Rhydon. Okay, let's paralyze this Rhydon. Let's just take it out. We've got Recover to keep recovering our HP. Him using Leer is actually good for us because it does induce the Badge Boost glitch. It's not intentional for me, so as much as I'm trying to do these videos without Badge Boosting, if the opponent uses it, what can you ask of me, really? So, to save some Body Slam PP, we're going to use Bite. Because it's got a lot of PP, we're getting few critical hits here. We've managed to take it down, we're into level 73, so all those Badge Boosts have just been completely nerfed now. We get hit by a Hyper Beam, which is really annoying, so we use that turn to recover. And then we use Body Slam to take out the Gyarados. Next up is the Arcanine, and last time his takedown did a lot of damage. We paralyze it this time, and then he uses full restore again. I hate the retroactive potions. Okay, so we've managed to take down the Arcanine. We're at full HP for this Venusaur. We paralyzed it. It's paralyzed again, and we take the win. Eevee has become a Hall of Famer, and the month of Retrobrown has got off to a great start. Honestly, a lot more of a fun run than you'd expect. Because you've got such... You have to use Bide for such a long time. It's an interesting way to go. So we finished our level 73 at 5 hours 49 in-game minutes. It's not the worst time, but it's a lot better than I actually thought Eevee would be. I'm pretty sure I've seen other people do an Eevee run, and their times have been around about that 6 hour mark. So to be fair, getting under that 6 hour mark, I'm very, very happy with this Eevee. And that's the end of the video, really. But as you know, since we switched up how we do these videos anyway, let's choose on the wheel what we're going to play with actually in a few days. Because I'm going to do... One day it's going to be the Gen 1 solo runs, Day 2 will be the Johto runs, and then we'll alternate like that up until we finish this month. So first up on the wheel we have Coffin. First stage Poison type, very slow. I don't know if I'm ready for that one. Next up is Slowbro. I've been really wanting to do a Slowpoke Slowbro run. This could be the option we go with. And next is Slowbro again. Okay, so it came up twice, so I guess we're going to be using Slowbro. And last up's Executor. Yeah, well, Slowbro came up twice in a row, so it means we're going with Slowbro. If you've watched this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe button, you legends. And we'll see you tomorrow with another video. We'll see you in 2 days for the Slowbro video. Take care, guys. Appreciate it.